Hello, how are you? Okay. Hi, Amy. Welcome. Okay, so I am just trying to get my iPad going here. I was hoping to be able to share it on my group, but I'll have to figure out how to do that at some other point. So welcome to my stamp studio. It is our hump day lunch break. So excited about this one. It's a quick and easy project. And I'll be sharing my new class, which will be posted by end of day today on my website. And let me flip my camera down so I can get going here. And just give me a minute. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes. All right. Okay, there we go. You just got back from a walk. Nice. Okay. Let's make sure everything, I'm sorry, I'm going to tilt a little bit just so I can get everything in focus. There we go. All right, so today I want to talk to you about Dragonfly Garden. And I'll go ahead and open up our mini catalog. So this is on pages 24 through 27 in our mini catalog. So it's our Dandy Garden. This is the suite, which includes a lot of stuff. But we're going to focus on the Dragonfly Garden stamp set. And that is this stamp set right here. My class, what I'm going to be offering, is called the Dragonfly Garden card class. You will get a half a pack of designer series paper. So the awesomeness paper right here that you see, you'll get a half a pack of this. You'll get some trim and some trinkets. And that class, you have to register for an event, and I will have that posted to my website. I will put the link in the description shortly after the video this afternoon when I get it posted on the website for you to hit the landing page to register. The class will be, it's either going to be $37 or $39. I just got to figure in the shipping costs. And what you will get, besides the paper, the trinkets, and the trim, you are going to also be able to add on this Dragonfly bundle. So this Dragonfly bundle, if you don't have it and wish to make the cards in this project, because you will need the stamp set at least, you'll get the stamp set and the coordinating punch, which is what we're going to be using in our Hump Day lunch break today. So stay tuned for further information. Like I said, I should have that by this afternoon on the website. All right. So I am going to get some things out of the way. And we're going to start with a piece of thick basic white. I did cut this in half. So originally it was 8.5 by 11. I cut it in half at 4 1/4. And then I would score it here at 5.5. So let me get it in here and score this for us. And I want to make sure I'm not using my cutting blade. So move this dark blade out of the way and use your light gray blade. Scoring the thick basic white really does help. So when you're folding this, you get a nice crisp line through there. And let me just grab my bone folder here, which don't know where it went. I had them all out and now I don't. Okay, it always is hiding whenever I do it live. All right, so the next step that we're going to do is we're going to be taking a piece of (4 by 5 1/4) white, and I am going to actually run it through the die cutting machine. So we will be using our Stitch So Sweetly dies, and I'm using the second to the largest rectangle. I'm going to put that right in the center of my card, or my layer here, and just run it through the die cutting machine. So what I'll end up with is this. Now the reason that we're doing that is because we are going to take our embossing folder and we are going to emboss our card layer. So I have a second layer that measures 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to actually take my embossing folder first. And what I want to do is I want to make sure I have this all on camera. I'll turn it this way. I'm going to take my piece of paper here and I'm just going to put it in. I'm going to, let's see. No, that's not what I want to start with. Sorry, I didn't have my ducks in a row here. Okay, so I'm going to actually just take my piece that I cut out my Stitch So Sweetly die from. So I just have that right in here like this. I'm going to actually just put this so it lines up with the bottom line here on our embossing folder. And I just taken a piece of tape here. It can be washi tape or painter's tape. This happens to be Post-it note tape. I just want to keep this in position. And the reason I want to do that is so that I can bring in some ink here and I can ink up my embossing folder. Now the embossing folder that we're using today is our Subtles embossing folder. This is one that is retiring, so if you like it, make sure you get it. And it is only while supplies last, and I know things are going quick. I didn't check this morning to see if it was still available, but if you're going to want it, you're probably going to want to get it soon. I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight stamp pad, and I am just going to ink up this opening here, just like that. Okay, I'm going to peel this off, and now I'll put it aside so I don't get it all over everything. I'm going to take my 4 by 5 1/4 piece of paper, and I am just going to layer it right on top so I kind of see where I am. I'm just going to layer it down just like that. I'm going to close my embossing folder, and I'm just going to hold on to it so that paper doesn't slide. And I'm going to bring in my Big Shot here, my cut and emboss machine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it out of the way a little bit. I'm putting my embossing folder on my base plate 1 with the hinge side going into the machine. And I'm going to take my embossing plate and just put it right on top. And then I'm going to run this through. And sorry for the shaking. It happens when I use my camera on the same table. I use my cutting machine. All right. And like magic, we're going to have something phenomenal here. So when we open this up, we are going to have an embossed piece of paper, and it's also going to have the inked image, which is just exactly what I want to have. And then I can just run this under the sink and let it dry. And that will take off that ink. All right. Now that I've got that done, I can actually stamp my project. So we're going to be using the Dragonfly Garden Set, and we're going to be using this floral image, which I already have mounted. This is a clear block E. It won't quite fit on the smaller block, which is H, so I like to use this one. If you have a Stamparatus, you can use that too. I'm going to be using Misty Moonlight, and I really did limit the number of colors today, just to make this a quick and easy project, and so I could really focus on the stamp set. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this off to the side, just like that. I'm going to press down evenly. I'm not going to rock it. I just want to press down so it gets in the embossed image there. I'll go ahead and clean that off to the side here. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sentiment from this set, and I'm going to do "Thank you for your kindness." And this is a rubber mount. It's a cling, what they call a cling style. So it has the red rubber, and this sticky label here is what sticks to your clear embossing folders. I mean, your clear blocks. So let's get this one in. And didn't quite fit on the block, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn it at an angle. I'm going to bring in my Misty Moonlight again. And I'm going to stamp this right at the bottom. Quick and easy project, something you can make a lot of in a short amount of time. And now, just to add a little something something here, we are going to bring in a piece of paper here, and I've got just a piece of basic white. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to ink up my Dragonfly image, and I am using the one where it has a solid body on there. There are two different ones. This one has a body that you can color in, and this is the one that we're going to be using. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up, and I'm going to just stamp it right here towards the bottom side of my paper. Okay, I'll move that out of the way for the moment. And now I'm going to bring in the coordinating punch. So this punch will fit the small dragonfly, or the large dragonfly, sorry. So I'm going to slide this right in. I'm going to line it up. And here we go. Okay, so I've got my dragonfly and I've got my little piece there, my little dragonfly. I'm not going to be using that. I'll move it out of the way for later. I'm going to stamp one more dragonfly. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat there because I think it's going to end up possibly inking over it, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp one more because I'm going to show you a cool trick on getting a miniature dragonfly right from your stamped image. So I'm bringing back in my punch. I'm sliding it all the way in here and kind of layering it so that I get part of that body as well as some of the stamped wing. And I'm going to punch that out. And now I've got a perfect little dragonfly that matches. I almost said butterfly. Okay, we'll put him aside. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my original one here. And in the stamp set is this goofy little image. This is actually going to color in the wings of our dragonfly. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp this off because I want it to be lighter than the color that's currently on there. So here we go. Got my little scrap pad here. So I'm inking it up with the Misty Moonlight, stamp it off, and then I'm just going to stamp my wings. There we go. Stamp it off. And now this time I'm going to rotate it and get the other side. And it's not perfect. It's not meant to be. So it's not going to completely cover your image, but it gives it some color. All right. Let me just put these two stamps back in my case. All right. Next thing I'm going to do, cover my stamp pad. And I'm going to bring in my basic white card base. And I'm going to bring in my embossed and stamped card layer. And I'll go ahead and use some liquid glue. And just adhere that. Oops, I got a piece of my dog with us there. All right. So I'm just doing a thin bead of glue. You can use Seal, you can use Seal Plus, whatever your adhesive of choice is. And now I like to open this up just because it makes it easier for me to layer this on my card. All right. And I have a little bit of wiggle room because I did use a liquid glue, but that actually turned out pretty good. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take my dragonfly here, and I'm going to grab a pencil. Now you can do this with a bone folder, you can do this with your fingers, and I'm just going to curl up the wings just a little bit. And I'm going to add a dimensional to the back of this. So let me get my dimensionals out, which I had out earlier. I don't know what I did with them. Oh, here they are. And I'm just going to put one right in the middle. And I'm just going to adhere that right to the front of the card. Now, to give the card a little something, something, I'm going to go ahead and use our Artistry Bloom adhesive back sequins. There are a number of colors in there, so based on what colors you've used on your images here, you can select any one of these to put on. And I think I actually like this yellow, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my Take a Pick tool, and I'm going to grab a large one here. Oh, I'm upside down. Grab a large one and put it right at the bottom. I'm going to take a smaller one, and I'm not sure why that's happening. Hold on, I just got a little bit of goo on my Take a Pick tool. I just need a little bit more to come out here. And there's a little bit of putty on this, so when you twist that, that putty will start coming out. It just makes it easier to pick these up. So go ahead and put that here. And it does have adhesive on the back, so these are awesome to use. We'll grab one more here. Do I not have these? I do. It just didn't want to come off. The adhesive on it is super sticky today. Okay, let's try this end then. I think I got two. All right, and I'm just going to put one up here. Okay. So that is the front of our card, quick and easy. And now I'm just going to go ahead and open it up, and I'm just going to adhere our small little dragonfly right to the inside. And I'll leave this blank. You can stamp or write whatever you want on it, but I'm just going to add a little something there, just so this card is stamped on the inside. And then for my envelope, which I just need to grab one here, I'm going to stamp Dragonfly right on the front. And this time I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually stamp my Dragonfly in Misty Moonlight, but I'm going to color it in with a different color. So here we go. Ink that up and make sure I have the front of my envelope. So I like to flip my flap up. Oh, look. Oh, adhesive. And I'm going to just stamp it right there. And I went off just a little bit, and that's what I wanted to do. Then I'm going to come back in with my color here, and I'm going to use the Daffodil Delight pad that we used on our card front, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp it off a couple of times. It just didn't seem like it got clean. All right, so I stamped it off once, and now I'm going to do my wings. I'm going to turn it so it makes it easier for me to stamp, and stamp it again. There we go. A little bit extra. And if I wanted, I could actually punch out another little dragonfly and put it on the front. But I like how this looks, and so that is my finished envelope. So quick and easy card today. Here was my original. This is one I just did. This is my original. So same exact thing. And the envelope. So thank you for coming by. Thank you for enjoying your lunch with me. And again, this class is our Dragonfly Garden card class. And you will get everything you need to make 8 cards. And you'll get your designer series paper, a half pack of designer series paper, some trim and an embellishment so that you can make your cards. Everything will be packaged and separated and sent to you. If you'd like to add on the bundle, which is the stamp set and the punch, you can definitely do that when you go to register. And what I do with that is when you purchase this card class, you will be able to purchase that bundle at catalog cost. I pay the shipping and the tax on it. So it's my little gift to you when you add that onto your class. So thanks again. Have a great afternoon. Enjoy your lunch and get outside for a few minutes. It's beautiful out. Take care.